Hi there, I'm Dino, and I wanted to share some important information with you. Hey, so if you're thinking about buying a home in Massachusetts, it's exciting for sure, but also overwhelming. So today we're going to clear up one of the most important and maybe confusing documents you'll see, the buyer agency agreement. So you're deep in it, right? You're on the hunt for a new place in the Bay State. You've probably got a dozen apps open. You're scrolling through listings. Maybe you've even been to a few open houses. You're trying to figure out, okay, what's my next move? Let's be real. This is a huge deal. We're not just talking about a financial transaction here. This is a life decision. It's about where you're going to build your life, and with stakes that high. You want to know. You need to know that you've got clarity and protection every single step of the way. That, my friends, is exactly where the buyer agency agreement comes in. Now, I know what you're thinking. Agreement sounds like more boring paperwork. But trust me, think of this less like a contract and more like your roadmap. It's the tool that gives you that clarity and protection right from the start. So what is this thing really? In a nutshell, it's a super straightforward agreement that just puts on paper the working relationship between you and your agent. That's it. It just spells out what they're going to do for you so everybody is on the same page. No confusion. Lean in for this next part. Seriously, if you only remember one single thing from this entire explainer, I want it to be this. This is the absolute heart of the matter. When you sign a buyer agency agreement, your agent stops being just a person who shows you houses and becomes your advocate. They're officially 100% on your team. They're in your corner fighting for your best interests. And this isn't just some nice, friendly understanding, it's a legal commitment. And this right here, this is why it's such a game changer. Without this agreement, things can get murky with it. The lines are crystal clear. The seller's agent, their legal duty is to get the best deal for the seller. But your buyer's agent, they are legally bound to fight for the best price and the best terms for you. It removes all doubt about who's really working for who. Okay, so we get it. It's important, but what are you actually signing? What are the nuts and bolts of this thing? Let's peel back the layers and look at what's inside a standard Massachusetts agreement. You're basically going to see four key things. First is representation. That just makes it official. The agent works for you. Then you've got responsibilities. This spells out what they're actually going to do for you. Third, and this is a big one, is compensation. It explains exactly how the agent gets paid, so it's all transparent. In Massachusetts, there are a few ways a buyer's agent can be paid, and we'll always explain this up front before you're surprised. Most commonly, the buyer agent's fee is handled through the transaction, often paid from the seller side or negotiated as part of the offer. But here are the main options you'll see. 1. Seller offered compensation. Most times, the listing side is offering compensation to a buyer agent. 2. Negotiated in the offer. If compensation isn't offered or isn't enough, we can negotiate it as part of your offer terms. 3. Seller concession or credit. We can ask the seller to give you a credit at closing, and that can help cover agent compensation depending on the structure and lender rules. 4. Buyer paid at closing. In some cases, a buyer may pay all or part of the fee at closing, but that's not common, and if it ever becomes relevant, we'll talk through fair options. 5. Split capped arrangements. Sometimes it's a blend, part negotiated, part buyer paid, or capped at a certain amount. Again, always agreed in writing. Bottom line, we don't move forward until you understand exactly how it works and what you're agreeing to. Our job is to protect you, negotiate hard, and make sure you're comfortable with the plan. Once you are comfortable with all the terms on the table, we will submit the offer, and if it gets accepted, this is the timetable that we will follow. And finally, duration. That just sets the time frame for how long you'll be working together. Once your offer is accepted, we typically have about 10 days to complete inspections. We schedule the home inspection right away. If the inspection results are acceptable or we negotiate repairs credit successfully, then around day 10 we sign the purchase and sale agreement, P&S. After the P&S is signed, closing is often about 30 days later. So from accepted offer to closing, you're usually looking at roughly 40-45 days from start to finish, depending on the lender, appraisal, title work, and the exact terms we negotiate. If you want, I'll map out your exact timeline and compensation plan for the home you're looking at. No pressure, just clarity. Let's just double click on those responsibilities because this is where the real value is. Your advocate does so much more than just unlock doors. They're your market expert, your chief negotiator, your logistics coordinator, and your professional guide through that absolute mountain of paperwork. They're there to help you make smart, informed decisions. And here's the key shift to understand. Any agent can promise to do all this stuff for you, but the buyer agency agreement makes it official. It takes a handshake and a conversation and turns it into a real professional commitment to you and your goals. So when you put all this together, what does it really mean for you? It means you stop being just a house hunter and you become an empowered home buyer. You can move forward with total confidence. So remember, this document is not a burden. It's not just more red tape. Think of it as your shield. It's the foundation of a solid, trusting relationship with your agent. And honestly, it's the very first real step you can take toward buying a home with confidence. In the end, you deserve an agent who acts as your advocate, protecting your money and your peace of mind. Don't leave your biggest investment to chance. Choose an advocate. I look at homes differently than most realtors do. I look at them with a set of contractor eyes, so I'm looking for structural integrity. I'm looking for wood destroying insects, looking for termite damage. We're looking for anything that can compromise the integrity of the structure. We'll take a look at the sills. We'll do a soft home inspection, so when we walk through, we're going to start in the basement and work our way up because, honestly, if the structure is fine, we can work with everything else. But if we have structural issues, that's a big concern. It could be a big ticket item, so finding them before we submit an offer or spend money on a home inspection is well worth it. If you want more information, let's have a conversation. Feel free to call me at 339-933-6189. Thank you so much.